trying to make sure we get Herman in the background.
Is Herman in?
I don't know. Welcome to Herman Hits the Road, and in this video we're going to find out if it's safe to go around the attractions of a city after lockdown.
So we're at Salisbury Camping and Caravanning Club. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
I always get the wrong one.
We get tongue-tied with the clubs. Yeah.
Yes, and it's very busy here, isn't it? My goodness.
And it's very hot.
It's not. I don't find it too bad at the moment, but yes, it's going to get really warm, isn't it? But over there, so Little Herman's behind us, and then over there is Old Sarum, isn't it? Which is an old settlement.
That's right, yeah. So Old Sarum is just on the horizon just there, and we're going to be visiting there tomorrow.
But today we're going to be going cycling into Salisbury, and somebody's just mentioned you go along there, and there's a gate at the bottom, and it's on a cycle track, isn't it? So you don't have to go onto the road, which is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a cycle route from the campsite to Salisbury itself. I know you have. I have to repeat everything for some reason.
Do you like to be in charge?
And this is our pitch. This is where we've parked up Herman for a couple of nights. And as you can see, it is quite busy here. It is heaving, yes. Bikes out. Got the e-bikes again. Going to cycle in on electric. Yes, I've remembered the batteries this time. It's currently 9:20 and we're going to cycle into town to check out the cathedral. Now we have an appointment at 11 o'clock, right?
Yes, between 11 and 11:30.
Yeah, so you have to schedule your time slots to actually visit attractions now. Our slot is at 11 o'clock. And tomorrow, when we go into Old Sarum, that's also booked in for a particular time slot. So we can't be late. Yep, well we've arrived at the cathedral. What do you think? It's quite impressive, and we've been here before.
We have. I can't remember when.
I remember it raining before.
Yes.
Unlike today.
Right.
And there are, what weren't here before were these like statues and pieces of art all around.
I mean that over there.
There's one over there. It's several of them all around, and they're quite impressive, really. Very strange, artistic, I would say.
What makes me laugh is there's a little plaque on the ground saying "Don't climb the steps." Can you imagine?
Yes.
Children going up and down.
Oh goodness, yeah. I bet people do though.
Yes, yeah, that's right. If you didn't have it there.
Yeah. So we've got 10 minutes before we go in there. We're gonna have a little wander.
It's quite quiet at the moment. It's going to
Yes.
be busy this afternoon, I imagine.
This one is called Stairway. It's made out of glass and steel. And as the sun hits it, the light hits it, looks like a cascade of a waterfall, doesn't it? This one is called Large Reclining Figure. It is almost like a lady lying down, isn't it?
Right, it's hard to imagine that's a figure, but...
Well, these are the arms. This is the chest, the head.
Yeah.
Torso maybe, and a leg there.
Okay.
You got to have an artistic eye, I suppose. This is called Sitting Couple on Bench. Turn her ad. This is a bit of a simple, weird shape, isn't it? It looks like a UFO. It's called Sky Station. It looks like a spinning top or one of those sweets you used to have. This one is called Formation, a Dappled Light of the Sun. And it reminds me of a Mandelbrot. You know, you've got these big parts here, big pyramids, and they get smaller and smaller until you get to the end, the very tip. The entrance to the cathedral is not there, but just there, on the other side of that tree. As you can see, we're in the cathedral, and everyone has to wear face masks, obviously. And now the Magna Carta isn't open until in a few days' time. So there is a replica here which we'll be able to see just over there. And there are plenty of other things that we can have a look at as well.
Got to follow it round, haven't we? There's arrows. I haven't seen them.
Now we thought we had half an hour, but they reckon you can get round it in an hour, so they're not too, at the moment that is, not too worried about how much time you spend here. That is the world's oldest working clock. It's been in use since 1386. That's about lunchtime, I think. And they reckon it's ticked a total of 4.4 billion times. It's controlled by weights here at the back. It also rings a bell, but only on special occasions. All around the cathedral are these arrows here telling you which direction you should go in, but also as we're walking around you notice these stones here, these flagstones, and these are actually well, this one here says, "Here lieth the body of Morgan Keane." All around the cathedral, famous people maybe, and along the wall of the cathedral are these like benches which you can sit on. Well, normally you would have been able to sit on, but it says here, "This area cannot be cleaned regularly, so do not sit." It's quite cool in here, but we are getting a bit steamed up with the glasses, aren't we? And I'm
cool, but I'm feeling a bit
sweating underneath here, like dripping off my chin.
Oh dear, what a lovely...
Here is the replica of the Magna Carta. Probably closed off the real Magna Carta due to gathering in one space, maybe. It was first issued on the 15th of June 1215. That's a long time ago. A few places you'll see these signs just reminding you of the rules. Just look at the pipes for this organ. Humongous. I mean, they're not the biggest I've seen in a cathedral. I bet they make a pretty sweet loud sound, don't they? And here we have Edward Heath. Died in 2005. Who was the Prime Minister between 70 and 74. This has got to be the most recent one we've seen. We're now outside the cathedral, and through there would be the Magna Carta. If we spin round, look at this. What an impressive place this would be. Nice and peaceful. All these cloisters around the edge here, and these two huge trees. You can see a bit of a cathedral. Now, we never like seeing scaffolding around a wonderful building like this cathedral, but you can see why. Look at all this. This is all carved stone that they're going to replace damaged parts of the cathedral with.
What did we think of that then, Dane?
Well, I enjoyed it first of all, except for the the mouth covering. It was getting a bit.
I got really
a bit warm underneath there.
Glasses kept steaming up, and I had to keep taking them off because I couldn't see.
Yeah, you didn't want to kind of breathe out. Anyway, that's just the mask. But what did you think about the?
Yeah, it was all very organised, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you had
I think so.
A one-way system, and actually, we were very lucky because I think if you go in the morning, it's not so busy, is it? And it was quite easy to get round. Whereas now it's a lot busier. Isn't
we
it?
had quite a while in there, didn't we? Like an hour at least.
An hour, yeah. Which I think was enough time.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
So they've closed a few areas, haven't they? Obviously the Magna Carta place.
Yeah. Oh, the Magna Carta place, the room where they had the Magna Carta. Nothing to do with COVID or being restored or anything. Somebody was filming in there, and it wasn't us. Was it you, Bob? Or you guys, posh cats?
Could you not say? Well, can I film?
Yeah, well, can we not film in there? But no, it was private filming. Oh. They didn't know who, the person I asked didn't know who it was. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfair, isn't it? We got to put up with a photocopy. Yeah, should have. Do you not know who we are?
Should we go and have a little walk?
We're going to have a walk, got the bikes, we're going to have a little cycle around and see what else we can find in Salisbury. We have found another piece of art, street art, whatever you want to call that. This one is called When Soak Becomes Spill. And you can see that this is a huge bucket. Bit of a funny shape actually, bit of a narrow bucket. But there's a hinge just there where the handle would be. And all these chrome things coming out the top like foam. And pots and pans and other utensils from the kitchen. Cups, mugs, strainers, everything coming out of there, look. We need a new pan, don't we? So we're in the pedestrian zone of the Salisbury now. And I've just seen this sign, this road sign that says Stonehenge 8 miles in that direction. But yeah, you can see that it looks quite crowded from this angle. You got cafes spilling out into the street there, being our social distancing and whatnot. And a few of the shops look open. And around the street is this keep safe sign, just to remind us what to do while we're walking around. I'm not sure if everyone's keeping 2 meters apart. Now this looks like a restaurant or a pub or something, and you can order meals here and drinks, but you can see along here all cordoned off, got some screens up between the tables. Yeah, not all cafes have the screens on between the tables. It's well separated though. Right, so we're back at the campsite, so I thought I'd show you around and show you what changes have been put in place to protect us from the old COVID. So here is the reception block, that's the door just there, but it is closed, and if you want to get in through the gate just there, you either have to hoot your horn or they notice you and come out to see you rather than you going in the reception. Just around there is the chemical toilet waste. So here's one of the toilet blocks. You can see that the actual doors here are blocked off, so we can't go in there. This is the dishwashing, and in here it's quite a small room, so there's only one sink available and the room is small, so only one group at a time. So there's your look around the campsite. It's very similar to the other camping and caravanning club site that we went to, Grapham, where all the toilet blocks are closed and you have to bring your own facilities. So right now we're going to prepare our barbecue, and tomorrow we're going to go to Sarum, so we'll see you then.
Hello, we've arrived in Old Sarum.
Silly face.
I know.
So what's Old Sarum?
Old Sarum was built by William the Conqueror.
Is that the only bit you can remember?
Well, we've only just arrived.
Yeah.
And we're doing a one-way system at the moment, aren't we? There's not many people here.
No.
It's the very beginning of the tour round. We've got to go right the way round.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of do the middle bit, but as long as you social distance.
That's right, yeah.
So I don't know much about the place at the moment, but hopefully by the end
We have
will
been
know
here
more.
before.
We have, but I can't remember.
But the one-way
when.
system,
Yeah. Oh dear.
wasn't in place. Also,
No.
when we got introduced, we had to book our tickets, and then when we arrived, I said, "Oh, what's this leaflet?" I took it out, and she goes, "Oh, that's a location of all the English heritage
So you
places."
thought, I'll put it back.
Wasn't interested. She goes, "Oh no, you can't put it back." So very, yeah.
And
they're
also,
on the ball.
what's quite good is that you've got your barcode, haven't you? You just scan a thing.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
that's right. Yeah.
It's done, isn't
So
it? You
your
don't have-
ticket has a QR code on it, and you scan it on the screen. They don't get involved; they just talk to you.
And you pre-book and pay, don't
Yeah,
you? So
yeah.
that's all sorted.
Parking here is £3 all day. So just over there is Salisbury Cathedral, and just there is the campsite that we were at this weekend. So not far at all. We're walking along the edge here. I think they call these the ramparts. And it's basically a wall and a ditch. So there's the ditch, and there's another one beyond these trees. And then basically what they did was they dug a hole, and as they dug the hole, they put all the soil on here. So it makes it higher, so an army can't attack. or find it difficult to attack. Well, this area here apparently was King John's new hall. You can see it though, can't you? It's kind of a wall high thing there, and a bit of a wall here. This section here, this was probably been the preparation room or kitchen, and then this section here, I reckon that was the games room. They had pool and an Xbox and PlayStation and whatever. This would have been the King's Great Tower. You can see some stairs just here, right? But we got to go over in that direction. We're in the basement of the tower right now, and you can see, I've noticed something. Look, see these stones here? There's some there, and there's some over here. Nice looking proper stones, but inside the stonework is kind of just rubble, all this flint. So these are the middle parts of the walls, and they're going to be surrounded by these lovely brickwork. Yeah, well, you can see it here. Look at that. The brickwork stops there, and then lots of rubble. And from up here you can actually get a good view of the old cathedral just there. Look, just the foundations and the bits of wall. She's pulling a face because this is the royal privy.
Toilet to you and me.
Yes, the royal toilet. And apparently it's basically a deep hole filled with straw and bark. And when the king wasn't here, somebody had to go down there and dig it all out. Which sounds disgusting. What a job, eh? I hope he got paid very well.
Probably not. Pittance.
And it says that the toilet block was added in the palace in the 13th century, and it would have been well decorated. But to me, it looks like the ones in the campsite. They look closed to me.
And there was no toilet paper, instead strips of torn up cloth.
Oh yeah,
were used.
well, imagine that.
Right, let's move on today.
No TP. This is probably the only section of the castle which it looks like a proper room. I mean, it has a proper floor rather than just grass. And this is called the lower chapel. And then through here is another section of the chapel. Can you make out what that is? I think that's the altar over there. Not too sure. But it's all made out of the same stuff. Some sort of cement and flint for the inner walls. No roof. This was the only place where you could actually draw water from. It's a 70-foot well, and it would have been a place where all the servants and whatever would have come along here and had a bit of a chat, had a bit of a gossip while they drew the water. Right, well, we have just wandered around old Sarum Castle, and it is a very hot day, very scorchio. So we're going to end the video here. So if you enjoyed watching the video and you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then maybe you should consider subscribing. And what else you do that? There's a little bell. If you hit that, then you can get notifications of when we release a video. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. And that was my phone, by the way. Another subscriber. We're going to go into town and check out the cathedral.
Give a picture of her and her ad. Smile, my love.
Okay, so we're back at the campsite, and I thought you would be interested in me.